What do you want me to do? Just to scrap it?
Yes.
Do we like lammies? Probably the bodgiest thing we're doing today. Oh, he's a silly goose today. And I'm sure everyone in the comments will let me know what they're really for. He can sod off. Welcome back to Find It, Fix It, Farm It. And Max, what are we doing today?
Farming it.
We are indeed. Now, firstly, before we tell you what we're up to, I'd just like to thank everybody for the support that you're giving us. All of our subscribers, followers, even the ones who don't subscribe and just watch our content. Maybe you don't have a Google account so you can't subscribe, but if you can, we'd be very grateful if you could. And watch even more of our content going forward, or even some of our back catalogue, we'd be very grateful. Now, Max, what are we up to today?
We are building my sheep pens ready for lambing.
We are. Now, I've just been rudely interrupted by the pony. Yeah, so Max wants to get his sheep pens done up because he's now, where have you gone? He's disappeared. So Max has just sold all of his lambs and Molly sold her lambs. So they've now just got their ewes. So you've got, what, Max, you know what sheep you've got?
I've got 3 pedigree Suffolks.
Yeah.
Then I've got 4 Suffolk cross mules. And I've got 2 ewe lambs and Molly's got 1 ewe lamb.
Yeah, so you've kept back 3 of the ewe lambs from the original, the original tame lambs that you had earlier in the year. So they're going to ram next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, next week to a Charolais ram, whereas the pedigree Suffolks have been AI'd, so they're hopefully all going to be pedigrees. And then we had Sam the ram to come in and cover them as a second time because one of them didn't AI, Max, did they?
No.
So,
but that's been covered now.
They've been covered now, so fingers crossed. We're going to get some lammies.
Yes.
Because we like lammies. Not so keen on them when they're bigger, but...
It tastes good.
It tastes good. Right, so let's show them what we're going to do today, because in previous videos we had a temporary pen, Max, didn't we?
Yeah, which we just built out of gates like that.
Yeah, and we're still going to use gates like that, but in a different way. But this time it's going to be a little bit more permanent, Max, isn't it? And a little bit easier, and obviously it wants to be lambing ready. So let's flip the camera around and show you what we're going to do. Right, so previously we had a pen. Well, actually, no, originally we had a pen here, Max, didn't we?
Yeah.
But we had to move it to the other end of the shed because this got really, really wet, which we'll get back to in a minute. So in previous videos, we had a pen up that end for the tame lambs and another pen for the second lot of tame lambs. And then that all got taken out. And then we had a stable over there.
The stable was facing this way here.
Yeah.
And then because we had the hay.
Yeah, we moved the stable
here.
Yeah.
And then we put the hay there.
And the hay looks terrible, by the way, because the dogs have been running all over it, which isn't brilliant, but it is what it is.
Straw there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now the sheep pens will go back down there because we've done.
Yeah, so they're coming back down to where we originally planned because, again, a couple of videos ago, well, probably a month ago, we put in some water barriers there to stop the water coming in from the yard, and the same at this end, so the water now stays behind this little block wall that is there we've built. So it comes down through there because it's an old slurry pit and the water was designed to come in here.
Because there's soil up to the.
Up there. Yeah.
To there.
And then it all flows down to that
Into
drain.
the drain we found when we were first moving the sheep pens into here.
Yeah.
And building.
So we've now got a dry shed, Max, haven't we?
Yep.
Because it is, you know, that's not wet. That's just where Max and Molly and Mummy were.
We had a pen here with hurdles to get them.
Yeah, they were sorting the lambs out the other day before they went to market. And what was your average price of your best lambs, Max? Or what was your?
Well, my best one sold for 119.
119. Brilliant. So today we are going to hang this gate up here. Put a new timber in there, hang this gate there, so that sort of blocks that off, even though there's a door there. But we can open that door then and they can have some nice daylight because we don't like things being shut in the dark. This gate over here is going to be hung about there, off that wall. That's going to be the hardest job to drill into that because I expect there's rebar and drilling into...
It's like 8 inches thick.
Yeah, it's thick and probably horrible to drill. Anyway, so that gate will come across to here. And then we've got some feed barriers we bought at an auction, which are going to go up through here. And we're going to go up to the workshop in a minute and weld them up, Max, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got to weld
We
some...
don't have the wood on the bottom either.
No. And weld up the hangings on the end, so you've got a little gate that end to open, because then his lambing pens are going to go behind there.
Open here.
Yeah, wicked.
The edge of the pen's here, and then I'll have room for 3 lambing pens there.
Yeah, 3 lambing pens, that's right. So, let's go to the workshop, Max, and show them the barriers and get them welded up, shall we? You doing some welding?
Yeah, maybe, if my helmet works.
Oh yeah, true. So here are our barriers, which we bought through Rendell's auctions a while ago. So if you watch that video, I'll link it at the end when we actually bought these. It's the same auction where I bought my baler, if you remember that one. So that's where these came from. Now, I've been sat in the shed ever since, but we thought they'd make ideal feed barriers. Now, they don't look quite like feed barriers yet, but they will. So we've got to cut all these horrible bits off. There's two apses on there. Now the hinges work well. Now we joined them all together yesterday, Maxie, didn't we?
Yeah, with the hangings.
Yeah, so we're going to use the hangings to join them back together again because it's the biggest sensible bolt to fill the hole we've got. So then, right, let's line them out, Monk, and see what's going on, and then we'll work out a plan, yeah? Right, so hopefully that's clearer. So that's the little gate on the end where we've got to weld some hangings onto there so they can slot into there. Cut that apser off, and then these will be bolted together in the middle, and then we've got to put a piece of, well, 200 by 20 mil timber in the bottom so that the feed can't go back into the pen. So we'll weld some strips in to do that. Yes, I know it's galvanised. I said Max was going to do the welding, but because it's galvanised, I'm going to do the welding. But obviously I'll grind off as much of the galvanised as possible first. Now I know some of you in the comments before have gone, oh, you shouldn't weld galvanised, you shouldn't grind galvanised. What do you want me to do? Just scrap it? Yeah, righto. Anyway, this is what we're doing, this is what we're using. As long as you do it safely, it's fine. Plenty of ventilation and grind off properly, and I'll be wearing a mask. So just to tick that box for you safety Sallies out there. Anyway, let's crack on, Max, shall we?
Yep.
Cool. Right, so I've just cleaned up, cut off those. I'd like to have cut them off as complete hangings or apses and reused them, but it just made too much mess, so I've had to cut them off and waste them, unfortunately. And Max is here, measuring up every how many centimetres, Monk? 30. It'll be 300 mil, all the way up through that nice bit of new steel. I know, we're using new steel. What's that all about? And the reason being is because I reversed into it with the forklift the other day, so I thought we might as well use it up rather than waiting for another project which hasn't come about yet. Now, they're going to go on, drop my mask, there we go. They're going to go on here, so one there, so we can bolt the board to the back of it. That'll all come clear in a minute. So I've just cut them into lengths because Max wants to have a go at cutting. So he's going to put them into the vise and cut them for me and have a go with the grinder. Good boy, perfect. Perfect, mate. Right, so everything is now ready to weld. We've got all these little bits in. Max has marked them all out and set them all up through. I ground off the galvanised. So we're ready to go. So set it on the tripod, do a time lapse of me welding all the way up through there.
This is where I'll be, so heavenly. So come and dance with me, Michael. So sexy, I'm sexy. So come and dance with me, Michael. I'm all that you see, you wanna see. So come and dance with me, Michael. So close now, so close now. So come and dance with me, so come and dance with me. So come and dance with me, Michael.
So, all done. And it's the little ones are welded in all the way through there. Not looking too shabby. Now my welds aren't amazing because I welded both sides from the same angle. Now ideally you would weld like this side from here and then come back down and weld the other side from a different angle. But me feeling a little bit lazy today, I thought I'd do it this way. So yeah, the welds aren't too bad. They'll be fine.
He's not too bad.
He's right there, Monk, is he? I've got the boss here looking, making sure I welded all right because he is actually a better welder than me. But as I said, I didn't want him to weld the galvanised stuff, so yeah, cool. Right, now it's time to work out these gate hangings and weld on some hangings there so that this gate then swings. So I was just over here grinding off the gate hangings, which I'll show you in a minute. Max shouts over. What did you shout, Max?
We've welded the bars on top instead of the bottom on the little gate.
So he's taking the mick. He's saying, he shouted over, he goes, oh, you welded it wrong. So I come running over thinking I'd actually welded it wrong because I wouldn't have been surprised if that's something for me to do. And he's just taking the mick. Little toad. Proper little toad. What did you call me? A silly old goose?
Silly goose.
Silly goose. Well, he's a silly goose today. Right, so here are my gate hangers. Now, these actually came off the workshop door when we replaced it with the roller shutter. So reusing as much stuff as we possibly can. So I've just cleaned them up and made them shiny on the outside. So now hopefully these can just go in here like so. And Max is doing the top one up there. So you can get it in there like that, and then go and give it a push mark. There we go. And then I can weld them into there, onto there, nice and tidy. Nice and easy, hopefully. So clean up that again with a grinder. Make sure we've got a bit of a gap here to be able to, so the gate swings, because that will be touching the ground. Perfect. Ideal, Max. So on Instagram earlier, we put a post up with some pictures, some tools, Max, didn't we?
Yep.
Asking for everyone's votes on what we were doing today. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, pop across on Instagram and follow us. Find it, fix it, farm it. And there was a gate, someone guessed saying, oh, you're hanging gates. And we've done a reply saying close, not quite. Obviously, we're doing our sheet pens. But theoretically, yes, Max, they are right, because we are now hanging a gate. So, yeah, well done, guys. Now we are. Right, so we're happy where they've got to go. Max is just marking them up. And then I'll grind off the galvanise on in there and on the other side. Prop the gate up, weld it. And then they'll be central then as well. So that should be perfect. So as you can see, we've just kicked it up about 1.5 inches up through there to give it a little bit of swing, hopefully. Right, so just welded those on. Go on, Maxie, do you want to hang it on? Hanging a gate by yourself is always fun, isn't it? Mm-hmm. While I hold the other one. Yes, boy. Right, open that, let him drop. There he is. Oh, there we are. It works. Nice off the ground. I'm trying to hold this up while it's swinging.
Oh, it's stuck on the bolt there. Might have to change the hangings.
Oh, go on, open that round.
Because the bolt's stuck.
I know what we'll do, just cut the corner off.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just cut the corner off that hanger. That's a good shout, man. Good job we turned that here, boy.
Corners.
Yeah, that's right, that's fine.
Stops there.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'd just like to thank Cramp very much, because they do supply us a lot of our consumables and everything. So they do these beautiful little cutting discs. I don't think there's a more cost-effective disc on the market which doesn't disappear too quickly. Does that make sense? Anyway, the GoPart I think they're the 1 mil cutting discs. They seem to be pretty good. Very happy with them. And this Wednesday, I will be at the Cramp Open Day. So if you want to come along to the Cramp Open Day, pop onto the Cramp website. I know they've got open days on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think it is. So we'll be there on a Wednesday.
I think we're cutting corners doing this. Yeah.
Apparently safety glasses make everything safer.
Oh, can't even see through these ones.
Can't see a blooming thing, mate. So there we go. Cool, that has worked a treat. Hey, look at that.
Oh, it's got squeak.
No caption.
Squeaky.
So hopefully that's all sort of becoming clearer now what we're doing. So we're now going to go and get the timber so we can fill part of that in with the timber. And then, well, that's pretty much ready to go and install it, Monk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so I got these boards here. This is Douglas fir, which I've got for some cladding on some buildings. But Max has convinced me to use one of these just because it's the widest timber we've got, which will make sense to put it into there and making the best out of the gap. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's like 28 centimetres in there.
Yeah.
20.
But the sheep won't be able to get through it, and it'll stop them pulling the food back through and treading on it from underneath. Is the whole idea. So we're actually going to use a specially developed screw that was originally designed for sheep pens, for making sheep pens to put wood onto metal. And it's these little things, look. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but that's exactly what they're for. They're for building sheep pens. And I'm sure everyone in the comments will let me know what they're really for. Anyway, Max is going to screw them in. Now this is probably a little bit of probably the bodgiest thing we're doing today is using these rather than drilling all the way through and bolting it. But I don't have any coach bolts small enough. I only have hex head bolts, and I don't really want to use hex head bolts because they stick out too far into the pen. Right, Max, are you going to do it?
Yep.
Cool. Max, it was a good job you're wearing your big welding gloves.
Oh, yeah.
And your earmuffs and your eye protection. Very, very good. Now, in last week's video, when we were hanging the gate, someone put in the comments, which now, this isn't a dig by any means, they said I should get Max some gloves. And the only thing I think he was doing in that video manually was using the drill. Now, I completely agree that everyone should wear gloves where they need them, and they should always protect their hands and wear the right PPE. Now, you've seen us do today, even I, when I'm doing welding and stuff like that, I wear a mask, wear gloves, do all of that. Now, that's the right thing to do. Now, using a drill with using gloves isn't really necessary unless it's cold and you need your warmth in your hands to be able to get your fingers to work properly. Now, the people who wear gloves full time for everything have soft hands, and they probably don't do that much practical work. But let me know in the comments, do you think you should wear gloves for every single thing you do? Or do you think you should just wear them when they're really needed, like we do? So, yeah. Right now, so you're probably wondering what we're going to do with the tacks on the inside. Max is it. There you go. Bang them off, as you would on a steel, on a roof. There we go. So all the timber is in. And just before we put on that bit of timber, we actually welded these stays on. Now, I was going to make a bracket for down there, which I was going to explain to you later on. But Max said, well, why don't we just weld it straight onto the gate? So I was like, yeah, that's actually a really good point. So that's exactly what we've done. Me here tripping over tools as I'm walking around. So now that will make sense when we're down there. So, ready to load up, Maxie?
Yep.
Load it all up in the trailer and get it down to the yard. Right, so we've landed with it in the animal shed. Just going to bolt that one into that one. Then we'll hang the gate. Right, so this is how we're joining them together. We've got these barriers actually came with these hangings, so we're just reusing them. Nut each side, nut each side. I know we've got the eye there, we don't need it, but it's on there. And that's why we left these cutouts on the timbers, so we can get in there with the nuts.
Oh, you know the problem now?
What's that?
You can't use the big hood because we can't get in.
Oh no, but it's nice and free. I'm going to do them very far away. So that's those two barriers up and bolted together. Now Max is going to hang the gate. Let's see if that swings, and then we can adjust that one if we need to. Got it, dude? Hey, look at that. Does it swing out this way and stop on that bar? Oh, there's rails in the way there. Yes, it's exactly where we want it to go, because then he can take his sheep out of this pen, around the corner into his lambing pens. Nice, dude. Hey, look at that. Perfect. Now, we put this little strut in here because obviously there's nothing here holding this up in the middle, so it was just waving in the wind. Whereas that end, it will actually be tied to the gate. This end, we thought we'd better do this. Now, if we need to, what I can do is just cut a little slot out and actually bolt that to the floor if we need to, but that weld will be fine. Yes, I could put a strut in each side to give it even more support, but I think that'll be okay. So I think we're good, Monk, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Sorry, mate, what did you say?
I've already got a bit of a squeak.
Oh, you're getting the old WD-40 on it, eh? God, your sheep won't be able to hear you coming now, mate. Look at that. What a job.
This is from Cramp, by the way.
That was some Cramp. You can get WD-40 from Cramp, yeah. He's
Big
on it.
bottles as well.
Big bottles. See, fully serviced as well, look. Right, so the day has got away from us. Other things have cropped up as well. So we're happy we've made these barriers. Maybe in the next video we'll fit the gates and bits and pieces down here as well, or we might not film it. But again, as I said at the beginning of this one, thank you very much for the support you keep giving us and watching our videos. And I know I have a moan about a few of the comments every now and again, but please keep commenting because we love it. I do all of this channel is for Max and Molly. I know Molly isn't in the videos as much as Max is because Max is happier on the camera at the moment. Now, I like to teach him how to do things and show him how things work and how not to do things as well, as he likes to tell me, which is fair enough. Now, we have got one commenter at the moment who keeps commenting on our videos saying that my vlog channel, this channel, would be better if I didn't have Max in them, and that I'd get more views and more subscribers if he wasn't included. Now, he can sod off because I do everything for him and Molly and make sure that this is happening so that their interests, which is farming and machinery, and Molly with her pony, is all included into what they want to do. So that's why we do this channel. If you don't want to see so much of Max, why, I don't know, then you can go over to Machinery Nation because he's very rarely in those videos, because that is more of a review channel for machinery. More of a serious channel, where this is a little bit more freedom for us, and you can follow our journey as we make lots of mistakes and I buy machinery and don't make any profit out of it. as we go along. Anyway, happy with the sheet pens. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.